George Washington. The very name evokes strength, integrity, and leadership. As a founding father, he played a pivotal role in the nation's birth. A soldier who led a ragtag army to victory against a mighty empire. He presided over the formation of a new government, setting lasting precedents. From a young surveyor to the revered first president, his military genius and wisdom guided the nation. Washington's dedication and virtues left an indelible mark, a symbol of national unity, revered by generations. His legacy continues to inspire and guide the nation. George Washington was born on February 22, 1732, in Westmoreland County, Virginia. His family belonged to the landed gentry, enjoying a privileged position in Virginia society. Washington's upbringing instilled in him values of hard work and duty. His education focused on practical subjects like mathematics and surveying. He was an avid reader with a keen intellect. At 16, he began his career as a surveyor, exploring Virginia's frontier. These years laid the foundation for his future roles as a military commander and statesman. Washington's work as a surveyor was not without its dangers. The Virginia frontier was a wild and unpredictable place, inhabited by Native American tribes and fraught with the constant threat of conflict. It was during this time that Washington's military career began. In 1753, at the age of 21, he was dispatched by the governor of Virginia on a diplomatic mission to the Ohio Valley. The mission was to deliver a message to the French, who were encroaching on British territory. This perilous journey through rugged terrain and hostile territory provided Washington with his first taste of military leadership and diplomacy. The following year, Washington was back in the Ohio Valley, this time as a military officer leading a small force of Virginia militia. At the Battle of Jumonville Glen, he clashed with French forces, marking the beginning of the French and Indian War. Although he suffered defeat at the Battle of Fort Necessity later that year, Washington's courage and tactical acumen did not go unnoticed. The outbreak of the American Revolution in 1775 saw Washington thrust onto the center stage of history. Chosen for his military experience, his reputation for integrity, and his commanding presence, he was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. Washington faced an uphill battle. The Continental Army was a poorly trained and ill-equipped force, lacking the resources and discipline of the mighty British Army. Yet Washington persevered. He instilled discipline, rallied morale, and developed a strategy that focused on wearing down the enemy. His leadership was instrumental in key victories at Trenton and Princeton, which boosted the spirits of the American forces and proved crucial in turning the tide of the war. Washington's strategic brilliance was perhaps most evident in the daring Christmas night crossing of the Delaware River, a surprise attack that resulted in a much-needed victory for the Continental Army. Section 5. Victory and the Perils of Peace. Throughout the long and arduous war, Washington faced numerous challenges: shortages of supplies, low morale among his troops, and a powerful enemy determined to crush the rebellion. However, his unwavering determination, his ability to inspire his men, and his strategic acumen ultimately led the Continental Army to victory. The British surrender at Yorktown in 1781 marked the end of major hostilities and secured America's independence. Washington, hailed as a hero, returned to Mount Vernon, his beloved Virginia estate. He yearned for a peaceful retirement after years of war. Despite his desire for private life, Washington was acutely aware of the challenges facing the newly formed nation. The Articles of Confederation, the first attempt at a national government, proved weak and ineffective. Recognizing the need for a stronger union, Washington reluctantly agreed to attend the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia in 1787. Section 6. Architect of a New Nation, the Constitutional Convention. The Constitutional Convention of 1787 brought together the most brilliant minds in the nation to address the shortcomings of the Articles of Confederation and create a new framework for government. Washington, unanimously chosen as the convention's president, played a critical role in guiding the delegates toward compromise and consensus. His presence alone lent legitimacy and gravitas to the proceedings. He rarely participated in the debates, preferring to observe and listen. However, when he did speak, his words carried immense weight. His support for a strong national government and his unwavering belief in the need for unity helped shape the course of the convention. The Constitution that emerged from the convention, with its delicate balance of power between the branches of government and its system of checks and balances, stands as a testament to the wisdom and foresight of the Founding Fathers, with Washington at the helm. Section 7. Shaping the Presidency. First in peace, first in precedent. Following the ratification of the Constitution, George Washington was unanimously elected as the first President of the United States. He took office on April 30, 1789, in New York City, then the nation's capital. Washington approached the presidency with a keen awareness of the challenges ahead and the weight of history upon his shoulders. He understood that his actions would set precedents for future presidents, shaping the office for generations to come. With every decision, he carefully considered its implications for the future of the Republic. He established a cabinet system, appointing trusted advisors such as Thomas Jefferson as Secretary of State and Alexander Hamilton as Secretary of the Treasury. Recognizing the need for a strong national defense, Washington oversaw the creation of the United States Navy and strengthened the Army. He also established the federal court system, appointing John Jay as the first Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Section 8. Domestic Policies and Challenges. Washington's presidency was marked by significant domestic challenges. The young nation faced a mountain of debt from the Revolutionary War. Political factions were emerging, threatening to tear the nation apart. Washington, ever the pragmatist, sought to address these challenges with a steady hand and a commitment to national unity. He supported Alexander Hamilton's financial plan, which included the creation of a national bank and the assumption of state debts. This plan, though controversial, helped stabilize the nation's finances and put it on a path to economic prosperity. Washington also faced the challenge of maintaining neutrality in the face of European conflicts. The French Revolution, which began in 1789, divided Americans. Some, like Thomas Jefferson, supported the French revolutionaries, while others, like Alexander Hamilton, favored neutrality. Washington, recognizing the dangers of entanglement in foreign wars, issued a proclamation of neutrality in 1793, a decision that would shape American foreign policy for generations to come. Section 9. Navigating the treacherous waters of foreign affairs. Navigating the treacherous waters of foreign affairs proved to be a delicate balancing act for the Washington administration. The young nation, still finding its footing on the world stage, had to contend with the machinations of European powers eager to exploit any weakness. The French Revolution and the subsequent war between France and Great Britain presented a particular challenge. The United States, bound by the Treaty of Alliance with France from the Revolutionary War, faced pressure to come to France's aid. However, Washington, guided by his belief in American neutrality and the need to avoid entangling alliances, chose a different path. He issued the Proclamation of Neutrality in 1793, declaring the United States' intention to stay out of the European conflict. This decision, while controversial at the time, established a precedent for American foreign policy that would endure for much of the nation's history. It reflected Washington's understanding that the fledgling nation needed time to grow and prosper without being drawn into the conflicts of Europe. Section 10. Farewell to the nation Washington's enduring legacy. In 1796, after 2 terms in office, George Washington made the momentous decision to retire from public life. His farewell address, published in newspapers across the country, stands as a testament to his wisdom and foresight. In this address, Washington warned against the dangers of political factions, the importance of maintaining national unity, and the need to avoid entangling alliances with foreign nations. He urged his fellow Americans to cherish the principles of liberty and self-government upon which the nation had been founded. Washington's retirement marked the end of an era. He returned to Mount Vernon, where he died on December 14, 1799, at the age of 67. The nation mourned the loss of its beloved leader. His death was a national tragedy, but his legacy lived on. He was revered as the father of his country, a symbol of American independence, integrity, and leadership. His contributions to the founding and development of the United States were immeasurable. Section 11. Conclusion: the indispensable man. George Washington's legacy resonates deeply within American society and beyond. He was more than just a military leader. He embodied the American spirit and ideals. His commitment, integrity, courage, and vision shaped American history. From his early days as a surveyor to his presidency, Washington left an indelible mark on the nation. He set precedents that guide the nation today. Washington's legacy extends beyond the United States. He stands as a beacon of hope for those striving for freedom and self-government. George Washington will forever be etched in history as the father of his country and the indispensable man.